This segment brought to you by Sure Crop, liquid crop nutrition delivered right to your farm.
Hi, this is Kyle Bauer. I have the opportunity to visit with Erik Lange. He's operations manager for MKC. We're near Canton, Kansas, and we are at their unit train loading terminal. I guess you would call it a terminal. I would call it a terminal.
Yes, so this is a unit train loading terminal. We take grain from farmers, we take grain from other elevators, as well as other facilities owned by MKC and served by Team Marketing Alliance. The facility came online in about 2015. We loaded our first shuttle. We've been receiving grain. This would be our third wheat harvest this year in 2017. The facility itself is about 7.8 million bushels. We have the receiving capacity in the grain elevator of about 60,000 bushel an hour. And when we're using our ground piles outside, we add an additional 40,000 bushel per hour dumping capacity, so we can dump around 100,000 bushels an hour during wheat harvest or fall harvest. We typically dump, during a harvest day, we'll typically dump between 400 and 600 trucks a day, and average wait time is about 10 to 12 minutes during a wheat harvest.
So it really is built with the capacities for the future. Many of the facilities in the state have not been able to keep up with the capacities that are out there.
Yeah, as we looked throughout our trade territory of MKC, we quickly realized that we had a lot of country elevators that were falling behind combine capacities and just not keeping up with what our customers needed for harvesting speed. And so what we did was we said, okay, where would a good facility be in the center of a lot of those country facilities that we could take the pressure off the country facilities and build a facility that could hit global markets as well as dump a lot of customers really quickly.
Loading unit trains, though, isn't just as simple as legging it up and dumping it in the train. In that handling, you have to provide a product that foreign purchaser in most cases is asking for, so that means blending.
Yeah, so this facility was built with a lot of blending in mind. Being in wheat country, it wasn't just blending corn or beans, it was blending wheat. The difficulty there is a lot of times proteins and hitting protein specifications of an end user or a foreign user. And this facility was built with a lot of smaller bins as well as a lot of bigger bins so that we could segregate that grain coming in to make sure that we hit that 12O protein or whatever the end user is needing at the end when we ship it back out.
So you ship all four grains out of this facility?
We do. We do corn, wheat, beans, and sorghum out of this facility.
The fall harvest has got to be a lot more complicated with the three grains, even four, because you'd still be shipping wheat then.
Yeah, it gets a little bit more complicated, and it takes a little bit of finagling in the elevator to make sure we have the right space at the right times. The difficult years are when you get three commodities coming at you from the farmer, and then you might have a wheat train to load at the same time. But the facility was designed with three separate pits, so we can be doing three separate grains at the same time, each at about 20,000 bushel an hour. So we will have a little bit of wait time sometimes during fall harvest, but usually we can get trucks right in and out.
For loading a train, how many personnel does that take and how long?
We typically have 8 personnel on site to load a train, and it takes us about 8 hours to physically load the train. It'll take 30 minutes to an hour on either side of that train to get things ready and then to get the cars sealed back up and ready to ship back out. But typical train is between 8 hours to 9 hours. And a wheat train, that'll be around 400,000 bushel, maybe a little bit more corn, soybeans, and milo on a train, but that 400 to 440,000 bushels in 8 hours is what we typically do.
We're talking to Erik Lange. He's operations manager for MKC. We're near Canton, Kansas. This is Kyle Bauer reporting.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.